I'm so sick of these people that are never held accountable. And this is the one time that Kris Tyson, with all the scandals and all the things that have come out on Kris Tyson, is actually going to be held accountable. We got Pokimane and Valkyrie making statements. It's Jover.
We talked about how this is personal to him, and on a pretty level. He's joining us now. Keem, how are you?
I am good. I am very good. How are you guys?
Good, man. Thanks for hopping on. So we've talked about this. It's obviously really personal to you. Why don't you give us a quick background on why it is so?
Well, I've known Beast forever. I've known Kris for, it seems like, forever. Going all the way back to like maybe 2017 timeframe when Beast like just started making a name. This is when Mr. Beast was like counting to 1 million and shit for YouTube videos, way before the high production value stuff. I was hanging out at the Face House in which is like this mansion, or the Clout House, if you will, in LA. Beast and Kris came to visit, met them in person, and that's when I think like Beast was telling me, he's like, man, you need to do this Fortress Craft thing. So I did a whole gaming tournament, Fortress Craft Friday. That thing blew up. I actually had Kris and Mr. Beast in the tournament. And so that's kind of my beginnings relationship with them. Now, later on, there's this article that comes out, like exposing Mr. Beast for saying edgy stuff in the past and Kris Tyson for saying edgy stuff in the past. We looked into it on Dromler, didn't see nothing too alarming, but within the last couple years, I started finding him supporting Shadman. And Shadman is like a lolicon artist, like a cartoon CP artist. And I had a horrible run-in with him back in the day because he drew my 8-year-old daughter in a sexual manner. And not only was Kris like supporting this guy, but he was like buying art from him. He was commissioning art. He had art on his wall. There's a Mr. Beast video where you can see some of the art on his wall. He was tweeting out at Shadman, thanks for the art and the fidget spinner, right? So I've learned only about this stuff in the last couple of years. Now, recently, Kris Tyson has become trans or whatever, and Kris Tyson has been beefing with Nick Merckx a lot, and they've been going back and forth, right? Nick Merckx's main thing is leave the kids alone. Well, for some reason, that's highly offensive to Kris Tyson, which makes no sense to anyone, right?
Right.
What, Kris, what, you should be attacking people's kids? Like, what is going on? You should be trying to get
It's not an exclusive club either. There's a lot of people who are offended by that for some reason.
So I was like, what is this? I didn't even understand that beef, but we covered it on Dromler as fair as possible, right? We covered the whole aspect of this is what Kris is saying. This is what Nick Merckx is saying, right? All of a sudden, this motherfucker jumps in my DMs, Kris Tyson, starts saying that I'm rallying up a transphobic campaign against her. And I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding me. Every single person that made the tweets on Dromler is my employee, Gino, who is trans. So she accused my trans employee of being transphobic. And I had to lay that all out to her, and she still decided to preach at me, or he, or whatever you want to call Kris, still decided to preach at me, telling me that I need to do better. So I lost it. It's the first time I brought this up to her or him. I said, look, you supported this artist that drew my kid when she was 8 years old in a sexual manner. You have some fucking nerve to tell me to do better. And I like went off, didn't apologize, didn't take any accountability. The only thing Kris said was, oh, all YouTubers supported Shadman back then. That was it. That was the cop out. And that I need to do better. I fucking lost it. So I started fucking hitting up Mr. Beast, and I'm like saying like, bro, I swear to God, like this is going to be an all-out war with fucking Kris if Kris continues to talk to me this way. And I let him know what Shadman and the involvement was. And this is like a month ago, right?
Oh, wow. So this is actually really recent. Okay.
Yeah, so all this beef behind the scenes has been going on for like a month, right? Now these stories start coming out public, right? Kris Tyson gets accused of grooming this kid, and it's fair game. Like, I'm gonna cover, even though I have a personal beef, I'm gonna cover the story. So we start covering the allegations of the grooming and this and that. Mr. Beast reached out to me and said, "Hey, look, just so you know, what's being said about this groomed individual known as Lava is false. Absolutely false. The Lava guy did not come over to meet up with Kris to have a hookup when he was 16. He came over with his family on a camping trip and just visited the Mr. Beast crew. So he connected me to Lava. I spoke to Lava, and it seems like the grooming allegations, for the most part, are bullshit. But what is true is Kris Tyson joking around with this underage minor about selling nudes. Like, that is the truth. Ugh. That is the truth. Now, some would say that alone is grooming, right? But is it grooming? Is it I don't know.
Well, let me ask you this, man. If you have a connection with Mr. Beast and you talk with Jimmy regularly, why hasn't he made a statement about this yet? Does he just think it's going to go away?
I don't know. But he is not the type of person to make a statement like that. That's like the last thing he'll do. If we see a statement from Mr. Beast, it won't be today, probably be tomorrow, because tomorrow Biden's going to stop down, right? Step down. So he's going to make a statement where everyone else is talking about something else. I mean, that's how I would do it if I was him.
Sweep it under the rug. Yeah. So what about, you see like Jake, right? Jake and Sneeko speaking out of this. These are two former members of the Mr. Beast crew. And, they're saying, hey man, like, what's going on? I mean, it feels like, where there's smoke, there's fire in a situation like this.
Well, here's the thing. There was a Reddit post put up on our YouTube drama. Are you familiar with this? Like, our YouTube drama. By the way, this Reddit, what is it called? Subreddit or whatever, is completely taken over by hive mind woke weirdos, right?
On Reddit? You're kidding.
They only let certain stories go, right? So they've been sweeping for Kris Tyson this whole time. Well, someone said, hey, look, a lot of this stuff around Kris Tyson is transphobic and wrong and false. However, what is true is he did support the cartoon CP artist known as Shadman. That was roughly the headline. They fucking took that down for misinformation. And when I saw that, I was like, fuck this. You're not going to fucking do this. Now, granted, what is the most views they get over there on their fucking subreddit? Maybe 1 million if something goes super viral. So I took a screenshot of that tweet and I tweeted it out and I said, no, actually, this isn't misinformation. This is a fucking fact. Kris Tyson supported this cartoon CP artist. He did, as a fact. And my tweet has 9 million fucking views. So to the fucking moderators over there at our YouTube drama, if you want to keep like blocking information, blocking the fucking truth to come out, I am bigger. I'm always going to fucking be bigger. My microphone is going to be bigger. Every time I catch you guys doing that, I am going to reach more fucking people than you could ever fucking dream of. So stop fucking doing that.
So I'm going to follow your tweet. Speaking of your tweets here, let's just straight up ask, you have streamers who talked about Dr. Disrespect that are not talking about Kris Tyson. I mean, it's obvious. I think we all know why. It has to do with the woke aspect of it, the trans ideology, right? The idea that nobody wants to offend a protected class right now. Am I wrong in that, or am I reading through your tweet?
That's definitely part of it. And look,
like flashbacks to Florida a little bit.
I'm really talking about in that tweet. I'm talking about two individuals who folded recently. I'm talking about Pokimane and Valkyrie, because during Dr. Disrespect, they both came out and made statements and said, yuck, disgusting. And they are not the type to do that. They normally don't speak on these issues. So I found it very strange when Kris Tyson is trending for something very similar, they're not saying anything. Now, today, what's really interesting is they both made tweets at the same exact fucking time. I'm not joking, within minutes of each other.
Man, it's almost like it's coordinated.
It is.
Question: Are they represented by the same people?
That I don't know,
Like-
but I would assume that's very likely. That, I actually don't know, but that's
and
a
their
very good
tweets were
question.
like the same thing in different English, basically. Like we read them out just a little while ago.
Speaking of representation, why do you think we haven't heard? We may not hear anything from Beast, right? And maybe if we do, it's tomorrow, like you said, right? Why have we not heard anything from Night Media, who represents?
They're no longer with him.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they cut ties. I want to say like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And so I know all those guys at Night Media well because they purchased my management company like a year ago. So
okay, so they're no longer with him. So who is representing Jimmy at this point? Do you have any idea, or is he representing himself?
he is doing everything in-house. So he is representing himself. I'm sure he has people, you know, like of course he has employees, but you know, it's not the standard like his managers are not his managers, they're his employees. It's like different, you know?
Yeah. And some people in the chat pointing out like that's real interesting timing, you know, with that. And this goes to your tweet you just put up about 30 minutes ago, you know, your House of Cards tweet, you know, pretty brilliant, by the way. Do you feel like this House of Cards is about to collapse on Mr. Beast? Is this a career ender, or will Jimmy survive this?
The thing is, I've known Jimmy for a very long time. I really, truly believe that he is like a good person, but we're not all good. There's bad things about everyone, every single person. People are not just good or just bad. It's always gray. So there's dirt on every single person walking around this fucking earth. Everyone has dirt. I would assume that Mr. Beast or Jimmy has some dirt and it's going to come out. And will he survive? Absolutely. He's the biggest fucking YouTube. He has 300 million subscribers. You can't turn that off. You can't, with the key and one scandal, shut all that down. He will be absolutely fine, in my opinion. The problem, what I keep hearing, is that Ava or Kris Tyson or whatever name you want to put on it has been friends with Jimmy before YouTube and has all kinds of dirt on Jimmy and has been threatening lawsuits. I mean, this is the rumor. This is what things are being said. I don't know how much of this is true.
Right.
So I don't know how this is going to unfold. The way I understand it is that Kris Tyson actually owns part of the Mr. Beast brand, like actually has equity in it. So how I don't know how this is going to play out. I have no idea.
Well, you mentioned, you know, you reached out to him about a month ago, and you were talking about how this could lead to a potential war. Is this has this escalated in your mind as far as, you know, if this isn't addressed, or are you going to continue to press on this?
We're going to continue to press just because that's our job, and we're going to demand answers just like the rest of the public. But this personal thing, I almost just got over. You know, it was only a month ago. It still bothers me. It still upsets me the way Kris Tyson was talking to me. All right. But I was almost over with it. Like, you know, you know how it is. You get really fucking pissed at someone and you have every right to be pissed at them, and just time heals, right? You just forget. You're no longer angry. You're focused on other things in life. That's where I was at until this story popped back up. And now I'm just as angry. I'm just as fucking angry. So I really didn't like when some of this information that was coming out about Kris Tyson turned out to be like absolutely false. And then a narrative started like, oh, Kris Tyson's completely innocent. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Not completely innocent. Some of the things being said is false, but this is real. This is real. This is real. That's where I'm coming from.
What do you think the proper direction for this is? Do you think that he cuts ties, pays him out, just kind of moves on? If this is, I mean, like I said, there's proof of all this. There's video proof, audio proof, all this stuff that there was things that shouldn't be going on, right? What do you think the proper steps are?
I think Mr. Beast or Jimmy is in a really tough spot, because if he has to cut ties with Kris Tyson is going to say, oh, well, you liked this art too. We were best friends. Remember, we made these jokes about the art and you were into the art too. I don't know if that's true or not, but I can tell you from my experience with Kris Tyson, this is the type of person Kris Tyson is.
Yeah. It sounds like what you're describing, they like have leverage a little bit on him.
So I really don't know how it's going to play out.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate your insight here, man. Like, obviously it's personal to you. It's personal to a lot of parents, obviously more personal to you with, of your kiddo. I can't even wrap my head around that.
That conversation with Kris Tyson, Craig, should have went like this. I should have said, hey, I don't want to hear about me doing better when you supported this artist. You know what Kris Tyson should have said? You're right. I don't know why I was into that fucking weird shit. I was wrong for that. But no, decided to preach at me more, decided to cop out and say, oh, well, a lot of people liked him back then. Fuck you. I'm so sick of these people that are never held accountable. And this is the one time that Kris Tyson, with all the scandals and all the things that have come out on Kris Tyson, is actually going to be held accountable. We got Pokimane and Valkyrie making statements. It's Jover. Thanks, Craig.
Hey, thanks, Keem. Appreciate it, man. Hey, have a great day, okay?
Yep, you too.
Take
All right,
it
we'll
easy.
catch you soon.
Bye.